And one thing that, we obviously face when you see these temperature records being shattered again and again, these, intense wildfires that are starting earlier, lasting longer, these hurricanes, is to what extent do you think that people will just get used to living on a hotter planet? And what implications does that have for cutting the greenhouse gas emissions that are helping drive some of these changes?
Yeah, that is a really great question and one that I think about a lot. There's a lot of we've talked a little bit about adaptation. There's a lot of talk about adaptation and things that we can do to adapt to higher temperatures, and whether it's building cities in a different way, changing labor laws, all these improving access to air conditioning, all these kinds of things. But the kind of adaptation that I fear is going to take over is exactly what you're talking about, which is that we're just going to accommodate ourselves to the fact that, it's 125 degrees in the summertime in Phoenix, or 130, or whatever the number will get to be. And people will die, and that's just the way it is. And we will just accommodate ourselves to that and think that, and forget that this is a climate that we created and that we can do something about, and just kind of go along with it. COVID was some kind of an example of that, right? There was an accommodation of these death rates at a certain point, and it was just like, okay, that's just how life is now. And I fear that very much with how we're going to go forward with climate. That is just going to be, the background of our world now, and the losses that we will suffer from lives and all kinds of other things will just be seen as something that is happening, and that, we're not in control of and don't have any power to do anything about, which is exactly not true.